There is no charge for awesomeness.
Hi everybody, it's Guru Bob and welcome to day 3 of the 30-day challenge. Today I'm going to be recording another video on Market Samurai, but today a new feature will be enabled. So when you open up your Market Samurai application today, you're going to be asked to update the application. And this is a good thing because it's an opportunity for the Noble Samurai guys to give you bug fixes and performance upgrades. But in the case of today, you're also going to be able to access and use the SEO competition module of Market Samurai, which is what we're going to be focusing on today. Now, SEO competition is something we didn't really spend too much time on last year, largely because we didn't really have an easy way of giving people a way of assessing that. What I mean by SEO competition is just because you've got a keyword that might meet your traffic and competition criteria, i.e. more than 80 searches a day for the website in position 1 and less than 30,000 phrase match competing pages preferably. Just because you've got a keyword that meets that criteria and meets that competition criteria, it doesn't necessarily mean that the actual websites that are ranking in the search engines for that keyword, they may be very, very high authority websites, i.e. sites like Wikipedia or eBay or Amazon and so forth. And if you've got websites like that competing for your keyword of interest, then you're going to struggle to outrank them both in the short term and in the long term. So we wanted to make it easier this year for you to be able to have a bit of an assessment of what the quality of competition you're going to be facing if you're going to try and develop a website to rank in the search engines for your keyword. And that's what the SEO competition module does. Now, as I explained in day 2, this SEO competition module is going to be part of the paid functionality of Market Samurai, but for the next 40 days, or at least 40 days that you've got access to Market Samurai as a 30-day challenge member, you're going to get full access to the functionality that this module offers for free. But if you want to retain this functionality going forward after the 40 days, then a one-time payment is going to be required, and that one-time payment will give you access to all the functionality that Market Samurai will offer as we go forward. All right, without further ado, why don't we head on into the tool. So we're back in Market Samurai, and because we had a project that we had yesterday, now I don't need to click on New Project. I'm going to open an existing project, and I saved that in my Market Samurai folder. And of course, it's the guitar project that I worked on yesterday. Now, when you open up your Market Samurai on day 3, this is after 9 AM on day 3, you're going to be asked to update the application, which is a good thing. And not only are there going to be a few little bug fixes and performance upgrades, but you're also going to see that the SEO competition module is now available for you to use. So after day 3, on day 3 and after day 3, both the keyword research and SEO competition modules are going to be active in your version of the Market Samurai. This is after you've completed the upgrade. Now, whenever you see Market Samurai offering an upgrade, please accept the upgrade. Click on OK, because for the next several weeks, the Noble Samurai programmers are going to be busily beavering away trying to fix as many of the bugs that may still exist in the software. And as they release new versions, then you'll be offered the opportunity to upgrade your version of Market Samurai. So you can see yesterday we explored guitar and vintage guitar. Those are the two keywords I was looking into. And in the vintage guitar niche that I was exploring, we eventually landed on the keyword vintage electric guitar. Now, I've got two ways of being able to refocus Market Samurai on that keyword. Either I can add a new keyword into here, or I can go back to my my analysis yesterday and refocus and refine that keyword and click on the key symbol next to the keyword, and that will open up a new tab in Market Samurai. I'm going to choose the new keyword option here and type that in. So I've decided that I'm going to continue my research on vintage electric guitar. As you recall from yesterday's video, that had about 200 searches a day, traffic potential, and just I think about 32,000 competing pages phrase matched. So that's something I want to explore further, and I'm going to take that through into the SEO competition module, which is what we're going to have a look at next. So having refocused Market Samurai on my target key phrase, here vintage electric guitar, I'm going to click on SEO competition. And a new window appears. Now at this stage, for those of you that are relatively new to the world of optimizing websites for search engine ranking, some of these things here might not be very clear to you. But for those of you that have got a little bit of experience in that, you'll immediately see that these variables here that we're going to be exploring relate to off-page and on-page SEO factors that relate to a website. And as we do with the analysis, I'm going to explain some of these things mean. But the goal of this module is to give you a way of assessing the authority and the quality of competition that you face from websites that are already ranking in Google for the keyword that you're interested in, which in my case is vintage electric guitar. So at this stage, I'm not. If I was wanting to actually explore something very specific here, I could uncheck these some of these SEO factors. But at this stage, I'm doing a sort of general initial sort of research. So I'm going to go and recover all that information. So all I need to do here is click on Generate Results. And what's happening now is that Market Samurai is going out into the internet. It's actually pulling a lot of information back from a number of different websites and giving me information about the websites that are ranking for the phrase vintage electric guitar. This part of the SEO module usually happens quite quickly, and it gives you a very, very nice sort of summary of some of these factors. Now, for any SEO people out there in our community, I would imagine that you're getting quite excited by now to be able to do a real-time SEO analysis of your competition for any keyword at any time. So let's try and give you a bit of a sort of sense of what has come back here. So these are the websites on the left-hand side here that currently rank for the broad match search of vintage electric guitar. So these are the websites that are currently on page 1, and a couple here probably are on page 2. And a range of information about those websites has been recovered by this module and placed into this matrix here, and we're color coding some of that information to give you a bit of a sense of things that are good, things that are a bit challenging, and things that are quite competitive. Now the first factor here is domain age, or DA. Google does tend to give some preference to older domains when it considers all the factors that it sort of merges into its algorithm to determine which sites should get ranking for a certain keyword. So older domains, Google's position is that they've been around for a while, so they must be a bit more relevant or a bit more focused. But older domains can be given a bit more preference than younger domains. If you don't see a domain score here, either that means that the website owner has prevented that domain age information being made available, or the domain is very young. Now, in the case of this particular domain, which we'll be having a look at in a little while, it happens to be a very young domain. This is a domain that's less than 1 year old. So, and you can see already that even though it's less than 1 year old, it's still ranking on the first page of Google. Now the next column is PageRank. PageRank is Google's estimate of the authority of a domain. And therefore, domains that have higher page rank are considered to be more authoritative and therefore have a greater probability of ranking for certain keywords. Now, we have color-coded these so that any domain which is between any domain which has a page rank between 0 and 2 is color-coded green, 3 and 4, PR 3 or 4 is color-coded orange, and 5 and above is color-coded red. Now, when you do your analysis of your keyword, if you see a lot of domains that are websites that are ranking for your keyword that have high PR, so certainly 5 and above, then those websites are very competitive, and you're unlikely going to be able to outrank them. But if you see plenty that are green and orange, then that's okay, and that's certainly the case for this keyword. Alexa ranking is currently in this matrix, but we are probably going to be moving that off into one of these drop-down boxes here, which I'll be explaining a bit later. We're probably going to put the Alexa ranking there. It's not really an SEO factor, but it's just an indication of how much traffic this website is getting. But that's traffic to the whole website, not necessarily traffic to this particular page that is currently ranking for vintage electric guitar. You can see that the lower the number, the higher the traffic that this website is getting. So you can see that this site here is eBay, and according to Alexa, eBay is the 18th most highest traffic website on the internet right now. But because that relates to the whole domain, not this specific page, this particular factor isn't really helping in terms of your assessing of your competition. So we are going to be moving that eventually away from this matrix. The next two columns here are backlinks, and the first one is backlinks pointing to the specific page that's ranking, and the second column is backlinks pointing to the domain. So just pointing to any page on that domain. And you can see that for many of the websites currently ranking for vintage electric guitar, a number of them have either very low or no backlinks pointing to this page at all. And that is a very good sign for us, because if the current websites that are ranking have no backlinks, which means they have no authority derived from other websites, then we have a chance of competing for those websites if we build specific backlinks pointing to our pages in relation to the key phrase vintage electric guitar. Now, where you can probably see that websites that have got, even though the top 3 websites have got no specific links pointing to the page that's actually ranking for the keyword, the domain have very large numbers of backlinks. Particularly this site in position 1, 181,000 backlinks is a very high number of backlinks. So that site is probably ranking not because of the specific authority that it has on this particular page here, but more because of the authority that the domain has, because it's got such a large number of backlinks pointing at it. This column here, BLEG, relates to whether the page here, this URL, has any .edu or .gov backlinks, because Google has decided that backlinks from .edu and .gov domains have higher authority than backlinks from normal domains. So websites that do have .edu or .gov backlinks tend to be given a little bit of preference than those domains that don't have those types of backlinks. And the next two columns are whether the site is listed in the DMOZ directory and or whether the site is listed in the Yahoo directory. Now, for a site to be listed in the Yahoo directory, the site owner must be paying, I think it's nearly $300 a year to have the website listed in that directory. So Google looks at that and says, well, if a website owner is prepared to spend that amount of money each year, then they must be putting more attention and more effort into making that website as relevant as it can be for the keywords that it's optimized for. So all of these, what we've talked about so far, are what we call off-page search engine optimization factors. They are the things that relate to things that happen away from the website, particularly in terms of ranking and backlinking. and whether the website is listed in certain directories. The following 4 columns are all what we call on-page factors. They relate to whether the actual page that is ranking for the keyword incorporates within it any optimization for the keyword that we're focusing on. So the first one is title, i.e. does the keyword vintage electric guitar appear in the title of the web page? And the title is a specific HTML tag of a certain web page. Then URL, does the keyword appear in the URL? Does it appear in the description? And does the keyword appear within a header tag, an H1 or an H2 or an H3 tag on the page? And if the keyword does appear in all these areas, then we would consider that page to be on-page optimized for that specific key phrase, in our case, vintage electric guitar. Now there are other on-page factors, but with respect to this SEO competition module, we've determined these 4 factors to be the most important on-page factors, and so that's what we're checking. The last column, CA, is the cache age, the Google cache age, and that's the difference between today's date and the last time that Google visited this website and cached the web page in its cache. The lower this number is, that may indicate the more authoritative that this website has, because Google is visiting it more frequently. But in the case of all these websites, you can see that Google has cached these within the last 2 to 8 days across the board, so there's not really any factors there. Cache age can be a little bit flaky, so don't be surprised if occasionally you don't see any numbers for certain websites in that area. Now this matrix is a snapshot of the SEO strength or authority of the websites that are currently ranking for that phrase. And over a period of time, you're going to build up a way of assessing very quickly whether the websites or web pages that are currently ranking for your keyword, whether they have more authority than you can possibly expect to achieve. Because if you can get more authority than the current websites that are ranking here, then you've got a chance of outranking these websites over a period of time and displacing them in the Google search results pages, preferably on page 1. So to give you a bit of an idea about that, let's have a look at this website here, vintageelectricguitar.org, this website here. See, it's a very young domain, it's less than a year old. It has no off-page authority at all, has no PR. It doesn't have any backlinks at all, and it doesn't have any .edu or .gov backlinks. It's not listed in either of the Yahoo or DMOS directories, but it is on-page optimized. The keyword is in the title and URL, not in the description, but it is in the header tag. If we actually go and have a look at that page, and we can do so by just clicking on the URL, and that will open up your web browser and bring that website into your browser. I've just got Flock opening up in the background here. Okay, finally that page opened. Lo and behold, what do we have? We have a blank WordPress blog. But this blank WordPress blog obviously has the keyword in the title of the blog. What you can't see here, but I can see it because it's in my header of the blog. Oh, there it is there. You can see that whatever keywords appear in the title bar of the browser, that's what's in the title tag of the page of this particular page. So the keyword's definitely in the title tag. It's definitely in the URL because it's vintageelectricguitar.org. So the keyword's in the URL, and it's obviously also in a header tag on this page as well. And maybe the actual blog title here is probably an H1 tag. So isn't that fascinating? We have a website which is ranking on the first page of Google, has no off-page authority. It is on-page optimized, but it's a blank blog, and it's already ranking. And the domain is less than a year old. It's already ranking on the first page of Google for the specific phrase "vintage electric guitar." Now, this is a very good sign for us, because if a blank blog, which is only partially optimized, can rank on the first page of Google, and if we develop a website or a blog which has got much more content focused towards that keyword, and where we've developed some off-page authority by building backlinks and so forth, then we're likely to outrank this website. Now there are some other sites here that that also have relatively small number of backlinks, but there are some sites that have also got quite a large number of backlinks. So, and also these sites in the top 4 or 5 positions are listed in the DMOZ and Yahoo directory. So in the very short term, probably the best we can hope for this keyword is to get to the middle of page 1 for the keyword vintage electric guitar. To get higher up, we're probably going to have to build some longer term authority, and possibly even attempt to try and get our website listed in the DMOZ directory and or pay to have it indexed in the Yahoo directory. But that's something we would do over the longer term once we have proven to ourselves that it's worth having a very high ranking for the key phrase vintage electric guitar. And we're going to do that over, throughout the 30-day challenge by hopefully testing whether the traffic that we might receive for that keyword will actually buy something that we're going to promote to them. And that might be a product that we might own, or it might be an affiliate product that we sell on the website that we create. Now, at this stage, I'll be very happy if you assess those keywords that you analyzed on day 2 using Market Samurai, if you assess them using this part of the SEO module, and gave yourself some confidence that that the websites that are currently ranking on the first page of Google for your key phrase aren't so authoritative or competitive that you wouldn't be able to outrank them and appear on the first page. But that's not all. This SEO competition module does something else, and this something else is pretty amazing. Now, let's have a look at this website here in position 6. So it's an eBay page. The specific page on the eBay domain has 13 backlinks pointing at that specific page. And we might like to say, well, what are those backlinks, and what is the authority of those backlinks? Because if those backlinks point from websites that have a page rank of 0, then those links have much less authority and value to us than if they come from a website that might have a PR5. Well, if you click on the down arrow next to this website, then a number of different options become available to you. We can go off to Google Trends and see whether there's any site-specific trend information for that website. We can do a Who Is search and get some Who Is information about that specific domain, who the owner is, where it's hosted, how old it is, and so forth and so on. And occasionally you might find some value in clicking on the Quantcast link, because if that website is being tracked by Quantcast, it gives some very interesting demographic information about the type of traffic that is actually visiting that page. And that demographic information might be useful and interesting to us to explore the type of people that are actually searching on the phrase vintage electric guitar. So those are useful things, but that's not really where I've come in here, because what I'm going to do now is I'm going to investigate the PR spread of those 13 backlinks. And I'm going to do that by clicking on the PR analysis button. And what Market Samurai will do is it will follow each one of those links and determine what the PR is. So we can see that we've got it's only been able to investigate 10 of those links, and that's probably because 3 of the links were probably internal. And of those 10 links that it could investigate, 1 of them had a page rank of 0, 6 of them had a page rank of 3, and 3 of the links had a page rank of 4. So, reasonably, the link network is reasonably competitive. Now, if I wanted to really find out whether the website owner had been optimizing the link network for the specific keyword, I can now go on and do an anchor text analysis. And by doing an anchor text analysis, I will find out what the link keyword is that has been used to put the link onto the web page. And in this particular case, it was able to actually find 9 of those 10 links, and you can see that 8 of those links, the anchor text of the link, i.e. when you see that link on a page, the link uses the keywords vintage electric guitars, which is reasonably close to my keyword of interest here, vintage electric guitar. And if I had 8 of those, 5 of them are PR3s and 3 of them are PR4s. So that's, those links are very specific to this particular keyword, vintage electric guitar, and therefore lend a degree of authority to that page, which is probably why, in association with the power of the eBay domain, probably why that page is ranking in position 5 for our key phrase here, vintage electric guitar. I don't suggest that you do a large number of this link analysis, largely because if you do too many of those PR and anchor text analysis, one, it's very intensive. We only analysed 13 links. If we were analysing a couple of hundred links, it would take anywhere up to 10 minutes for the tool to do that. And really, how you want to use that link analysis is if you're trying to figure out what a website owner has done to build authority to a page that's ranking for a keyword that you also want to rank for. And by doing a link analysis in terms of PR and both anchor text, you can figure out the strength of the link network that you will need to build yourself in order to outrank that page in the Google search results for that keyword. So you're not going to go and do a link analysis on every single website here, but you might pick a website in whose position you think you've got a chance of outranking, and figure out how much authority they've built in terms of the quality and quantity of the links that they've built to their pages. Ultimately, our goal is to develop a website that is both on-page optimized, so where our keyword is in the title URL and description and header and so forth, and that we have built a link network where we've got a sufficient number of links pointing to our pages that have the keyword or derivatives of the keyword in the link text, in what's known as the anchor text of the link. That means that we will have both on-page authority in terms of having our keyword on the page, and off-page authority by having a good, strong network of links from a range of websites with different PR, page rank, and where the links that point to us have the keyword or derivatives of the keyword in the link. Now, we're not only going to actually develop links pointing to the home page of our website, we also have an interest in building links that point to subsidiary pages as well. But that's something we'll talk a little bit more about as we go through the challenge. All right. I really hope that those of you that have got a little bit of an understanding of what I'm talking about here, how amazing this module is for assessing the strength of your competition for a particular keyword that you want to target. It's a wonderful module. I'm very excited to be able to talk about it here in this video, and I think it'll be a fantastic addition to the functionality that the Market Samurai offers you both throughout the challenge and hopefully beyond. The functionality is still in development phase. It's fairly robust. I haven't certainly had any troubles in using it so far, but like all things, if you do find a bug or if there's a problem, then please submit a help ticket at www.noblesamurai.com/support. The guys over there at Noble Samurai doing a fantastic job during the challenge in giving our participants as much help as they possibly can. All right, well, that's the SEO competition of Market Samurai. By the end of day 3, I would have hoped that of the 2 or 3 perhaps niches that have survived the day 2 keyword and market research, and that you have analyzed them using the SEO competition module, and your goal is to pick one of your keywords for which you think you've got the greatest probability of appearing on page 1 of Google for that particular keyword. So you're going to choose the keyword with where the competition for that keyword is the weakest, and by that I mean hopefully you're going to see keywords where your competition is lower authority websites with lower page rank, least perhaps where they haven't optimized for on-page factors. And so at the end of day 3, hopefully you will have a keyword that you believe meets the traffic criteria, 80+ searches a day, it meets the competition criteria, and where the current competition for that keyword is sufficiently low that you feel that you've got a chance of outranking them as we go forward in the 30-day challenge. So good luck, and I'll see you on day 4. Talk soon.
There is no charge for awesomeness.